Okay, so what is semantic elements in HTML5 we will discuss now, and this is a responsive also. If you develop, so if we can website, we are developing something, right? So by using those elements, semantic elements, that would be responsiveness. What is responsiveness? So if you minimize the screen, means if it is an what is that, mobile or tab or desktop or larger desktop, so any system or any device, so it would be looking good. So that is the reason we have to develop responsive sites. But this responsiveness we will discuss at the time of bootstrap. But in HTML5 also they have introduced some responsive elements. So what are those responsive or semantic elements? Both are same. Semantic elements defines its content, means what happened, for example, previously what happened, we have to provide generally div, span, so these are the tags, right? But there is no meaning. But now they have meaning, so each and every tag means semantic tag is one meaning. For example, if you want to use article, then we have to go for article tag. Side, a side. Details, details. Figure caption, caption. Image caption. Figure for figure. Footer, header, main, mark, nav, section, summary, time. These all are so semantic elements. But in that, so in HTML5 they have introduced below semantic elements, but in that we are using few of them regularly. So what are those few of them we will see in our example. But still some persons are using still non-semantic elements like div and span only. But if you want to develop any website, so these semantic elements if you use, then it would be responsiveness automatically without using bootstrap. Okay, if you want to do any other things, then we have to apply bootstrap because they did not provide for all elements. Yeah, NetBeans started. Okay, we will close all the things. So we will discuss one project we have created, right? What is that project name? Did you remember? Okay, we'll take my genius batch. Batch is there. So pages folder is there. Now I want to create some HTML. So where is HTML? Okay, here it is. So here we will write some semantic elements program. Okay, fine. Now copy and paste it here. Yeah, I have applied some internal style for only color purpose. Okay, don't worry about this thing. We will discuss at the time of CSS. But only for applying colors, I have used internal style. Okay, leave it that one. So body is the tag we know. Head and body, there are two tags are available. Main tags HTML, head, body, and within the head we have to write title. So within the body we have to write all elements. All elements means non-semantic and semantic elements. But at present we are using semantic elements. So one of the important semantic elements is header. So if you want to write header in HTML without using semantic elements, then we have to write div id is equal to header. But here not required, just header. And if you want to write any navigation, then we have to use nav tag. So if you want to write block of code article, then we have to use article tag. So within that article, if you want to specify multiple parts, then we have to use sections. For example, here I want to display some article here. So within that article, I want to provide two sections. So here one section, this is one more section. Okay, like that. This is complete thing is article. Within that we are writing two sections. So the same thing I have developed here, article, within that two sections. One is Java section, second one is the front end section. And finally we are writing footer. Header, footer, between that article and between article we have to provide multiple sections. These are the main important semantic elements in HTML5. We are using those. Just run this file. So in remaining things we have already discussed. Okay, let me discuss once again. So within middle, so within that semantic elements, we have provided some elements, right? So we will discuss those things also. Yeah, fine. So first header, within that header, I am providing some heading. We know what is H1. So within that navigation, I have provided three hyperlinks. What are those? Home, about us, contact us. We know how to create the anchor tags. Okay, so we know how to create the unordered list, right? So within that article, so we have to write section. Within that section, okay, within that section, first we have to provide them some div. So we know what is div and how to write. And I have applied class is equal to Java. This is for style. Don't worry if you did not understand, leave it. Okay. Next one is the heading again. And after that paragraph I have used. So finally I have closed the div. The same way I have written for front end also. So finally we have to write footer. So just we have to write the 2015 get your info all rights reserved some message within the footer. Finally we got this page. See, this is header part, this is footer part, this is navigation part, this is article. Within that article, we have to write two sections. If you minimize the screen, then even though we can able to see the screen very beautifully, right? So previously what happened, without using semantic elements, so if you minimize like this, then it will cut the page, web page, but now it will give the proper page. So that is the advantage of semantic elements, means responsive elements. Okay, so this is very important. In real time nowadays, maximum they are using semantic elements only instead of non-semantic. Okay, next one is the app cache. This is one of the important features in HTML5, but 99% browsers will take care, we don't worry. Okay, so what is the advantage of app caching? So for example, we are developing one website, so we are trying to develop without internet, means initially internet is required. But after once if you send the request, then onwards no need to require internet connection. So for example, some guys they are using mobile internet. Okay. No, if I send every time request, it will download the data from the server, images, and what is the static files like JavaScript and CSS files. So it would be waste of time and it would be waste of bandwidth, right? So that is the reason by using application cache, it is easy to make an offline version of your web application. So when it would be offline version, once you send the request to the server, first request is mandatory internet connection because we have to retrieve all the data from the server. Then we want to store that information into our local machine. Okay, but we don't want to save all the information. We can save only static data. What is static data? HTML files, means leave it about HTML, JavaScript files, CSS files, images. These three are static files. Okay, if you want those static files, so again and again, no need to request the server. Once you request the server, then we have to store those static files into our local machine. That is nothing but cache, app cache. See, it's by using application cache, it is easy to make an offline version of your web application by creating a cache manifest file. Okay, so we will see what is cache manifest file. So what are the advantages of app cache? First advantage is offline browsing. Second one is the speed. So what is offline browsing means? Without internet connection. What is speed? So no need to interacting with every time server. So then it will get the data from the our local machine, then it would be speed. Third one, there is no server burden. So no need to hit the server again and again. So just we are retrieving from our local machine. So these are the main advantages of app cache. Okay, so what are the app cache? We are writing manifest file, right? some file that is app cache file. So what is the extension of app cache? Same as app cache. What is the extension of HTML? .html. What is the extension of CSS? .css. What is the extension of JavaScript? .js. Same as app cache. Okay, so just file name dot our file name dot app cache, but app cache is having three parts. One is cache manifest file, second one is network, and third one is the fallback. Okay, so these things internally take care by the browser, don't worry. But if you want, if anyone asks in interviews, you have to explain these things. That's it. Cache manifest file, it will cache all the files. But sometimes what happens, we need to keep on changing particular JavaScript file. Then we have to do something right for that. So if you don't want to change anything, then we have to keep all the files in cache manifest file. No, I want to keep on changing one JavaScript file. For that, we have to keep all dynamic changing, means keep on changing files. We have to keep it in network. And for example, if site is down, so then we have to show by default, if internet connection is not there, then what is the output we will get? The page cannot be displayed something message, right? But we don't want that message. I want some welcome to get sure we are going some progress something. We have to show some our customized messages. For that we have to use fallback. Okay, we will see how to provide all those things. So this is file name. As you wish, you can write your name also. My static files dot app cache. This is the extension. How to write inside? Cache manifest is the one part, network is another, fallback is another. So within the cache manifest file, we have to write all JavaScript related files. For that, we have to write relative path of JS, and after that star. Okay, if you want only one JavaScript file, then you can specify my script file .js. No, I don't want to keep only one file. I have used 7 JavaScript files. No need to mention all the JavaScript files. Just use star. I kept images more than 100 images. So then you have to use star. If you want to specify images, then you have to specify my image one dot jpg. Then after that you have to write my image 2 dot jpg. Like that you have to specify. If you want to specify only few things, generally these all are static files. That's why we have to give star only. And CSS files, we have to keep all the things like this. So this is what relative path. If you want to use, you can use absolute path also, means fully qualified name, right? So iGetShoot.com is the domain, and after that images is the folder star. All the images will store into cache. So network file, please cache these files except these 3 or something. Then we have to keep those files, means keep on changing files we have to keep in network. My js2.js, except this js, you can store remaining js files here. Except login.html, generally we don't want to provide HTML files. Generally we have to keep JS files, external JS, external CSS, and images. Okay, so keep all the CSS files here except one.css. Okay, those exceptions will be, we have to keep it in network. What is fallback? So if internet connection is wrong, then you have to display offline.html. Every time I want to display my customized message, so for that we have to use fallback section. This is the way we have to use cache manifest file. So how to import that one, we will see now. HTML, they have given one attribute manifest, right? So this is the attribute name. In that we have to specify our app cache file. Then what are the JavaScript files are there, what are the CSS files are there, what are the images files would be there. So those files will be caching because of these things. Okay, so we have to remember one point here. This is very important. Once a file is cached, the browser will continue to show the cached version only, even if you change the file on the server. For example, I have changed some file, that is my own file. So JavaScript file or CSS file I have kept. Unfortunately, I did not keep this network section. So, but I have changed this JS file. Okay. So, but I have kept in cache manifest section. But even though I have changed my js1.js file. So then what happened, even you have changed that file in server side, you have deployed and you have changed that file in server side, but it won't retrieve the output from the server because we are getting the data from the our cached version only. Means it will get the data from the our local machine only. So for that, what we have to do, to ensure the browser updates the cache. How to update the cache? You need to change the manifest file by using version. So within that cache manifest file, so you have to mention date and time. So if you mention date and time and version name, then you can easily understand. I'm sending the request, so I have modified the JS file, but I'm sending the request, but still we are getting the same old version only, old values only. Then you have to immediately check the manifest file. Generally, for one app application, we have to maintain only one app cache. Don't worry. Okay. So for then you have to verify, and then you have to identify. Okay, I have changed the manifest file, and previously I have used version 1.0. So now version 2.0, previously that is February 21st, so 2016 for example, so I have changed 2016 January, so now latest version is February. So like that you have to modify the manifest file, or otherwise you can do one thing, simply control F5. This is the shortcut for removing the app cache data. So it will remove everything from the browser, then it will give the fresh data. Okay, so you can do this one or this one, any one of the ways. So this is very important interview questions. Okay, especially so they will ask how the browsers maintain app cache, even we did not provide. So if you want to provide, you can provide, but modern browsers, all the modern browsers are providing this app cache concept. That is the reason, even if you change, sometimes you will get old values, right? But without writing any app cache file, because of modern browsers are using internally app caching. Okay, fine. So next one is the SVG and Canvas. So SVG and Canvas both are used for designing graphics, but we are not experts in the SVG and Canvas because we are not pure HTML5 developers. Just we are web developers. So if you are a pure HTML5 developer, then you have to draw the diagrams of flow charts. Okay, so flow charts, diagrams, so many things we can draw by using SVG and Canvas. So by using SVG and Canvas, we can define and we can draw the diagrams of, we can draw the diagrams especially. Okay, so SVG means scalar vector graph. Canvas, this is just Canvas, there is no abbreviation for this. But what is the difference between SVG and Canvas, and how to use all those things we will discuss after the JavaScript completion. Because we did not discuss anything about JavaScript, if I explain, then you may feel, no, yeah, HTML is too difficult, right? So that's why, so JavaScript code is there. Due to that, we will discuss after completion of JavaScript, this SVG and Canvas. If I forgot this thing, then remember me after completion of JavaScript. Okay, fine. So do you have any doubts regarding this? Today's topics like app cache, semantic elements, these two are very important. If you have any dev, and yesterday's class also, what is that? Audio and video. Okay, those are also very important. Yeah, but few more topics are there in HTML5, but we don't want to discuss all those things here. Geolocation is there, and what is that? Web workers would be there. Geolocation is nothing but just we have to draw the maps. Google Maps is there, right? Just we have to draw the maps. That's it. And one more thing is, just now I told you, right? Geolocation and I told you something. Web workers. So that is web workers related to same. If you understand at least Java, core Java multi-threading concept. or .NET, I don't know. Multi-threading concept would be there anyway. So if you know multi-threading, so what it will do internally, so daemon thread is there, right? So it will check internally, it will do the some background process. So for that, so for example, if you want to install something, right? So then internally, if you some pop-up will come, do you want to show something what happening internally, something, it will give the pop-up, right? So if you want to click on that, then it will show internally. The same way here, web workers internally process the some tasks. For that reason, they will use web workers. Okay, fine. So those things are not using mostly in real time. But if you are a pure HTML5 developer, then those are very, very important. But we are web developers, we have to concentrate on, so HTML is a part of the web application. We have to concentrate on more on, so JavaScript, jQuery, AngularJS, and Bootstrap. Okay, and CSS also important. CSS and HTML, these things are we can use very less. Okay, if you want, CSS is very easy. If you want to apply any colors, font size, then we have to go for CSS. Okay, that is not a big deal. We can learn easily. But HTML5 concept, if you are a pure HTML5 developers, so there are some requirements on HTML5 developers, especially on SVG and Canvas. So if you want to draw any diagrams by using text, so we did not provide any images here, right? So in SVG and Canvas, we need not to write any what is that? We need not to write any images like image tag not required. Just by using code, we have to use, and most probably in Canvas, we have to use JavaScript. Okay, fine. So if you have any doubts, you can ask me now, or otherwise I will move to the CSS basics. Balaram, Indra, Moin, Venkatesh. No doubts?
No doubts.
Okay, cool, Venkatesh. Yeah, thank you. We will go for CSS basics. CSS is very, very important. So now let me discuss about CSS. So till now we have discussed about HTML content like this, right? So welcome to something we have written. Welcome to get your info something. But now onward, I don't want to say, so background color is white color, foreground color is black. I don't want like this. Now onwards, I want to change font color. I don't want this font size is some 20 pixel, right? I don't want like that. I want to increase font size or decrease font size. So if you want to do, then you can change. Okay, and moreover, if you want to apply any border, you can apply borders also. So like that, if you want to do anything, then we can do all those things by using CSS. Not only these things, these are basic examples. We will do so many things. Okay, fine. So previously we have discussed about only by, by default they have given some color, some background, some borders are there or not. Okay, but now onwards we have to increase the font size, colors, background colors, or something, box model. So many concepts are there. We will discuss each and everything. Box shadows would be there, text shadows would be there, okay, and multi-column would be there. So many concepts, and rounded corners would be there. So these things we will discuss in CSS. Okay, fine. So first we will discuss what is CSS, what are the types of CSS, what is the advantage of CSS. CSS, it stands for Cascading Style Sheet. It is used for designing the web page colorfully and animated. So previously we can see only static, right? Just without color, without anything. Now, if you want to add something colors, we are adding some spices, right? Something like that. So we are adding some web pages colorfully and animated. For that, we have to use CSS. Okay, just basic template of HTML, and we are providing some extra styles. So how many types of CSS are available? Three types. One is inline, second one is the internal, and third one is the external style sheet. Okay, so first we will see inline, then we will go internal, then we will go for external style sheet. Okay, so now let me write the previous example only. Okay, I did not write here anything. Okay, we will write basic example of HTML. HTML. So this is the way we have to write. If you open, immediately we have to close. So head, title. So then we have to write CSS first program something. Okay, so after completion of head, and if you want to write, we can write external CSS, external JavaScript within that head section, but at present we don't want to discuss that one. Now we have to write body section, body section, close the body. Now I want to write some heading. So something, welcome to Get Sure, something is there. Okay, H1 is there. Now I'm trying to apply. If you run the as it is, then this simple HTML program, right? Welcome to Get Sure. Now I want to apply inline style. So what is inline style? If you want to apply attribute name style, then that is inline style. So now I have applied inline style in that if you apply property name and value, for example, I want to apply color, this is the property name, value, this is red. Okay, so till now we have discussed only one value, right? So we have discussed about element or tag name, we have discussed about attribute name, but previously we have discussed only one value, but in CSS we have to write property name and value. Okay, not only one property value, we can write bulk, so we can write multiple properties and multiple values. Okay, first we will see how to run, how to give the color. Previously, welcome to Get Sure is there. Now I have applied inline style. This is within the line, right? So that is the reason they have given inline style. So if you want to apply multiple color, multiple properties and values, we can apply. So second one, we know only these two. That's why we are discussing these two. Color and background color. Red, right? Yellow. Background color is red and sorry, yellow. Foreground color is red. And if you want to write combination of property value and another combination of property value, we have to give the separation, so by using semicolon. And end of this means property value, we need not to give semicolon. This is optional. If you want to give, you can give, or if you did not give also, no issues. But one pair of property value to another property value, we have to give the semicolon. This is mandatory, but here optional. Okay, these are very important. Yeah, now run this file. So background is welcome to Get Sure. So red color, background is gray yellow color. So did you observe this one? But we are writing up to here only text, but here it is giving complete up to here. So do you have any idea regarding this? I have explained in HTML why it's coming after the text also it's coming yellow color background. Because of what? You forgot or what? Because of block level element. So H1 div, these are block level elements. If you use span, just see span, it will give up to text only. See, now run this file, see the difference. And span, right? So that font size also it will decrease. H1 is heading 1, right? It will increase, but don't consider that one. So here there is no background of yellow, because this is, that is block level, this is inline. Okay, so that is the difference between we have discussed about div block and span block. Okay, so the same way here we are applying. So because that div block, span block, if you understand in HTML, the same way here also we are using inline, internal and external. That is different, this is different, but naming convention is same thing, right? Span is inline element, div is block level element, This is inline style because we are applying only particular this element, that may be span, div or anything as you wish, paragraph, anything. So this is the first way so to write inline style. So next one is the internal style. So how to use internal style we will see now. Okay, we have already written, right? So instead of writing here this same thing, we will write, okay, span is there, right? So here in head section we have to write style element or style tag. That's it. This is internal. Just same thing we have to apply, but which tag we have to apply? Some span, right? Then inline, this is style equal to not required, and span we have to write, and after that we have to open curly braces, that is class name, and after that we have to close with curly brace. That's it. So previously we have applied same color and background in here, right? But if you want to apply, so what is the difference between inline and internal? If you apply here, then it would be applicable for only this element. But if you write span here, so within the style tags, then it would be applicable for how many span tags are available within this body, then we can use those many span tags. We can write as you wish. I'm giving break means it will come next line. See, if you write multiple span tags, then it will display same color and same background color. See this one. Well, if you give more breaks, then it will give more space. Yeah. Welcome to Get Sure, welcome to Get Sure, welcome to Get Sure is coming, but I have applied only one time because if you use internal style sheet, then it would be reusability within the web page. So if you use inline style sheet, it would be applicable for only that particular element. But now we are trying to apply how many elements are there, the same span elements only. How many span elements are there within the web page, those many span tags we can apply this color and background. So this is nothing but internal style within the web page. This is within the line. Inline is within the line. So if you use like this, this is within the web page, that is internal. Now we will see one more, that is external style. How to use external style? By using link tag. So how to use link tag? Just let me write here. Remove this one, okay? And write link tag, and that after that we have to write a rel. This is mandatory attribute. Rel is equal to, means relation is equal to style sheet. And this is optional. If you did not provide also, it will give. If you write, no issues. And href also mandatory, but we have to give that particular external style where it is available. So for that we know already. So relative path, I want to keep all external styles into particular CSS folder. We have created web structure, right, at the time of starting. So now go to CSS folder. So my style.css already there. Okay, so now we will write. So how to create the CSS file? CSS new cascading style sheet. Just give the name, it will create like this. Okay, so in the CSS folder I kept my style.css, but in my style.css don't write style tag here like internal style, because this is external. No need to write this thing. Okay, just remove, write as it is. What is the tag? Span tag, color red, background color yellow. That's it. So just what are the properties are available, those properties will come and it will display in the span tags. Okay, now run this file.